Hello, Gabby Turner here. Welcome to this pick a card reading in which we're going to be asking, how do they feel when they are with you? So how do you make them feel? How do they feel when they're with you? That kind of vibe. So we do have three options here from left to right. Number one is Estsanatlehi. Option number two is Rhiannon. And option number three is Bast. So go ahead and use your intuition to tune in and see which reading or readings are calling out to you, and then you can just use the timestamps in the description box to go directly to your reading, and I'll see you there. Okay, option number one, you chose Estsanatlehi. So let's go ahead and get into your reading and see, how does your person of interest feel when they are in your presence? How in general do you make them feel? That kind of information is what we're looking for. I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot for your all's reading today. And just want to make sure everything is shuffled really well. And then we'll get into it. So I do feel they kind of feel special to you. So they're showing up as the Queen of Wands, regardless of this person's gender. They feel special to you. They feel like maybe they hold a special place in your heart. They do kind of feel like you may not be the kind of person who has a lot of time to give, and yet you give time to them. Like you make time for them. And sometimes they feel like you even seek them out to give them special attention, despite the fact that you are not the type of person who lavishes attention on a lot of people or has a lot of time to give, something along those lines. Let me figure out more what that is, that Two of Pentacles. They're seeing you as someone, yeah, I mean, I feel like they think that you're kind of busy. You're kind of like, not busy like in a flurry of activity, but busy like what we see on this card, like slowly curating your life, maybe, you know, like you've always got some project you're in the middle of, you're always developing something, you're always working on something that you're trying to bring to completion. Yeah, it feels to me they're viewing you as someone who is more focused on getting things done than you are in interacting necessarily with people or showing people special attention. But despite that, they feel special in your eyes. And the fact that you don't normally go out of your way to do that, and yet you're doing that for them, does, I think, make them feel extra special. And it kind of makes them feel, with this moon card being the central energy that we saw, like they feel a very deep, a very personal connection to you, right? I mean, we can give someone attention who we barely know or barely have a connection to, but like this is feeling like we're close to each other, like we have a bond, we have an emotional bond. Tell me more here about this Queen of Wands. I definitely feel like this is something that this person has put a lot of thought into as well. Like, it's not just like when you do give them this love and attention, they think about it like, oh, where is that coming from? Like, you know, like I don't want to say that they dissect it or analyze it, because I don't think that's exactly what it is, but they're like, oh, this is food for thought. Like, you have a very special way of expressing yourself and expressing your kindness. It's not over the top. It's not over the top gushing, you know. It doesn't feel like you're kissing their butt, but it does feel like you're trying to say something that, or they're trying to say, I'm sorry, you're trying to say something to them or act towards them in such a way to kind of put them at ease, to make them feel socially comfortable and accepted. Yeah, they don't want you to feel left out. So they might feel sometimes that there's the possibility of you feeling left out in certain situations, and they don't want that ever to be the case. They're like, listen, to me, you are very special. Or they think that this, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. They think that you are making them feel special. Like, you're not going to let them be left out. You know, like, look at this card. Everyone here is like relatively young, and then we have this older lady, you know, and like the woman here is handing her a rose. So it's like, I'm not going to allow you to feel like you're not good enough, or that you don't fit in because you maybe stand out for some reason, or it doesn't, on some sort of surface level. So the person you're asking for, there must be something about them like that, where it's like, do I quite fit in this group or something? Okay. And you make them feel included. I don't know why I'm going back and forth. I think maybe both of you do this for each other. You both like want the other person to feel safe and included. Okay, how does group 1's person feel when they're around group 1? Well, you know, it's not always the same. Also, like, I think sometimes your person is just not feeling great when they're around you. Like, they might be going through a lot emotionally that's difficult for them to manage. I think that they do still try to put on a brave face for you, and they feel that you try to lift their spirits. So there's a lot here of like lifting the other person's spirits, making them feel special, making sure the other person feels included. I kind of feel like both of you are doing all of these things for each other, so it's not just going in one direction. What else here? I feel like both of you have very imminent lives. Is that the right word? Like, you both, like, I see your person coming up here as the Emperor and the Hanged Man. I see you coming up as the Moon and the Hierophant. This is a lot of major arcana here. So it's like, you both have, when I say imminent lives, there's like something profound about both of your lives in some way. Like, I feel like your person is very driven. A lot of people might look at this person and just see that Emperor part and see them being extremely driven and like trying to like be the best at something. And what they don't understand about this person is how deep of a thinker they are with this Hanged Man card. That there's so much more depth to them than just, I want to succeed, you know, like I want to get ahead in life. I want to master my life. You know, I want to be the best, right? That is part of this person's personality. Like, they're competitive. I do feel that they are competitive and they want to stand out, and they really want to do significant things with their life, and they have. I think you do understand this side of this person. I think that you and this person approach life maybe a little bit differently. You are maybe not as much about like the worldly ambitions or worldly competition type thing yourself as this person is. Not saying that it's not there at all, but I would say like what you're trying to cultivate more with this Hierophant is maybe your spirituality or just your knowledge base. And also like a lot of self-understanding. You see this little cat looking in the pool here. I feel like the reason that you're good at understanding this person is because you're good at understanding yourself. Like you go inward a lot. And because you do that, you understand that your person also is that type of person. They're a deep thinker, you know, like much more so than other people give them credit for. So how does this make this person feel? Do they notice that you do that? Yeah. Yeah, they definitely notice that you do that. And actually, when they see that part of themselves, that deep thinker, like I'm a deep person despite what it looks like, when they see that reflected back to them in your eyes, that really also, that it feels so loving here with the Six of Cups, and it also motivates them and helps them to figure out even more pointedly, like what do they want to do next with their life, you know, because I think, again, a lot of people are just like, well, you just want to succeed at all costs, you know, but no, this person, they are very self-actualizing, and so it helps them, it waters their natural tendencies. Their natural tendencies would be to be self-actualizing as much as they can, to continue to blossom and blossom all of the layers of themselves. They want to open up. That's why they're so driven, actually, and you do see that in them. And so that does encourage them to continue to develop that part of themselves. Well, there are many parts of this person, but it fuels also, I feel, some sort of creativity and self-expression in them. But yeah, they do feel seen by you, and it's very encouraging to them to feel seen by you. What else do we have? I would say this person feels like the two of you are a bit different in your approach to life, which I've picked up on that a little bit already. They might be more like busy, busy, busy. And you're more maybe like getting caught up in your head. So you might not look busy on the surface, but you've got a busy head. You know, your mind is like just very occupied with thoughts all the time. And like I said, this person is a deep thinker, but I do feel like, you know, if you looked at this person's social media, for example, you'd probably see them doing a lot of different activities, or like, oh, here they're at the beach this day, and here they're at a conference or whatever. I don't know. Like, it seems like they're doing a lot of things. It's like, if you're expressing yourself on social media, it might be like, you know, what you're thinking about at the moment. Do you know what I mean? But I do feel like what the two of you have in common actually is you do like a good rest and relaxation with this Nine of Pentacles. So I'm not sure why this is coming up. How do you make them feel? I think that you just make them feel like comfortable being themselves, despite the fact that the two of you all are different. I think that they would like to do some of their activities with you, you know. They feel like they might have to sort of convince you or something. Like, let's say they were taking a trip somewhere. They are like, it might take some convincing to get group one to go, but I would like them to be there with me. Yeah. I mean, they see a lot of value in you. I think that you just really, you bring them a lot of comfort. Yeah, they want to do things with you, like go on picnics, go to the beach, go on trips. You know, they want to do activities with you because they just feel like it would be more fun just with your presence there. And just like to share that experience together. They like sharing experiences together. I do feel like they think that the two of you haven't had enough opportunities to do that. They're sort of wistful about it. They fantasize about the opportunity to do these types of activities with you and build memories, share moments, all of that. Anything else for group 1 before we move on? Anything else group 1 needs to know here? You know, I would just say, like, a final thought here is that this person would feel loved by you even if they weren't out here being this emperor and, you know, like securing these many successes in life, dominating, being number one, that type of thing. They're like, you would love me, group 1, even if I wasn't doing that. And I think that they do seek approval from other people through these types of Emperor, Ace of Wands endeavors, like always doing something new, always trying to be the best, you know, always trying to outshine my competitors, right? That's how they approach life, but they partly feel in some way that they need to do that in order to get approval, but they don't feel that they need to do that in order to get approval from you, and that does also make them feel so loved. So I'm going to leave it on that note. Thank you so much, group 1. Let me know how you felt about that in the comments. Leave it a thumbs up if you like, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 2, you chose Rhiannon. Rhiannon, let me know how you pronounce it. I don't know. But anyway, beautiful goddess. Let me see what is going on with your person in terms of how they feel with you. I feel like, I mean, I'm just cutting the deck. I did shuffle. I've got the 10 of Cups and the Queen of Wands. They kind of feel like you are an it girl. You are an it girl. So that's where we're starting. Let me see how that makes them feel that you're an it girl. I mean, it's combined with the 10 of Cups, so I think that they like being seen with the it girl, you know? Yeah, but you know what? Like, they also feel a bit protective of you because we had the Page of Swords here with our Queen of Wands, the it girl. So it's like they know, you know, when you're the popular girl or the it girl, when you got a lot going on for yourself, you're also going to have people coming at you, you know? So I feel like this person's antenna is always up, trying to see, like, who's going to try to mess with my group 2, you know? Because they expect it. I think they've seen it happen before. They've seen people try to mess with you, probably out of jealousy. Yeah, they're very on guard when it comes to you. I do think they feel that they might sort of fail sometimes in protecting you. And also at some level, they kind of feel like you don't need their protection anyway because you're actually better at standing up for yourself. Like maybe you clap back, you know, if someone comes at you, you're like, no, I'm going to clap back. I'm going to stand up for myself. So yeah, I think that makes them feel a little bit pessimistic or down about themselves, that they don't have more to offer in terms of being able to protect you. And in fact, it's like they have an awareness that you are actually the one doing a lot more for them, even though, I don't know, they just don't feel like that's the way that it should be. They feel like they should be the one more standing up for you and doing a good job of it. So yeah, they don't feel like they're not living up to their own expectations in terms of being protective of you, I guess. Let's see what else here. They like spending time with you. I feel like they love going to events with you. I think that you are like their favorite person to go to events with the 4 of Wands, Temperance, 9 of Wands. But again, with this 9 of Wands, it's like going to events with you also means like there's going to be, you know, people trying to like bother the two of you. Like people try to mess with the two of you. They do also feel like even though they love spending time with you and they like to spend a lot of quality time with you and they like to go to events with you, they do feel like the two of you kind of argue sometimes and don't always get along. And like they feel like people do see that. Like people see the two of you not always getting along. Like, it's not a secret that the two of you sometimes have arguments or disagreements, right? Nobody's gonna assume that you all are the couple or whatever, you know, if you're not actually a couple, then the duo that never has disagreements. Like, people do feel like the two of you are at odds with each other sometimes, and your person is aware of that. They still want to go out to events with you, but they're just like, okay, we're in public together, something might happen, and people are going to see it. You know what I mean? Like, people might see us having an argument. But I don't know. It's like I feel like they can't really picture themselves. They can't really picture their life being better with anyone else. You know what I mean? Like, because the two of you have this sort of stick with it, like we're always going to work through it together. So how can it be more perfect? You know what I mean? Because they're like, is there someone out there that I'm never going to argue with? Probably not. So yeah, I might argue with group 2 sometimes. It seems like everybody knows that we argue sometimes. But we work through it. Like, we don't give up. I feel like this person, that's almost like their safe place anyway, and maybe this comes from their family of origin, I don't know, but regardless, you know, we have the 4 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups reversed. Like, in their mind, your love with someone or that feeling of closeness or building a life with someone, the feeling of family, if you will, when you have that kind of a personal bond with someone, there is no perfect. They certainly don't think that their connection or their relationship with you is perfect, but they're like, perfect doesn't exist in this context or any other. And they're like, what I do feel here is a sense of safety and security, and that this is a relationship that I always care about cultivating. And they feel that you feel that same way as well. I think also they feel that you give them a lot of strength. We have the Strength card and the 3 of Cups. They see you as someone who does need to like go off and be with your friends sometimes. And they see that as you like knowing how to build your own strength. You seem to have a good, solid group of regular friends. I think this person, they're a friendly person, but I think with this Page of Cups, maybe if you're off with your friends, they're like, well, you know, I can like kind of focus on myself, like work on my hobbies, whatever that might be, stuff that I like to do for fun on my own that maybe group 2 wouldn't be that interested in. Or, you know, they do, I think, need some time. Like, you need time with your friends. They need time kind of like being alone, doing their own thing, I think. But they appreciate that about you, that you know what strengthens you. For you, you need to spend time with your friends. They need to spend time alone. But let's see here. How do you make this person feel? I just feel like you are a bright spot in this person's day. There may be also, to me, it feels like there might be also a shared connection to God or source or some sort of spirituality. I would say that they feel like maybe the two of you approach it in different ways. Like they might like to experience God in nature, whereas you're like trying to experience God more in tangible ways, like maybe through reading a spiritual text or going to church or something like that. But I don't think they are viewing one way as better than another. They feel like you are both very connected to source and connected to spirituality. And, you know, when I'm asking, like, how does it make them feel that you're both connected to source and spirituality, we get the Devil and the Three of Swords. So it's interesting because I don't know if they have, to me, it feels like almost like they have some self-destructive tendencies around that. It's like they want almost to rebel against that connection to God, or maybe to religious expectations or something. So yeah, they appreciate that both of you have this connection to God or source, but it's, I don't know, it's like it makes them feel like they're not going to be able to measure up as well, or because you have somewhat different approaches, it also makes them think, well, am I going to have to go against my nature and my approach to it in order to make you feel like I'm being a good enough spiritual person or a good enough godly person? They care what you think, but at the same time, it sort of makes them want to rebel at times. But they do feel like you all have good conversations about these things. We have the Nine of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, King of Wands, Two of Cups. And also this is giving me the feeling like if the two of you do go to some sort of service together, like they love the time after the service when you all are just like hanging out, enjoying the day. You know, like getting home from church, if that's what it is, on a Sunday. Like cooking dinner, having lunch, enjoying the day, enjoying the weather. I don't know. They do feel like a spiritual refreshment from doing things like that with you that are spiritual and or religious in nature. And they also feel like the two of you have good dialogue and good conversations about religious and spiritual topics. Like you can talk about theology, you can talk about, you know, whatever passages that you've been reading, or you know, etc., so on. You know, apply it to your own specific situation. But they feel like the conversation is good. It's fulfilling, it fills them up. I do feel like, again, this is sort of repeating from before. We were talking about them. Maybe they need to go off and spend time with their friends sometimes. Or you need to go off and spend time with your friends sometimes, and they need time alone. Like, I think they do feel like that's one of the things. Like, if you all don't get your separate time from each other enough, that seems to be what leads to like these squabbles. And so to them, like, they've just realized that over time, like, it's really important for us to both have our time apart doing our own thing. You know, like maybe for you it's going to the gym, going to hang out with your friends, whatever it is. I feel like this person needs a lot of time for solitude and like introspection and just like processing their thoughts and emotions by themselves. Maybe, but yeah, they do feel like it becomes problematic if the two of you don't get enough of that time together. And yet they sort of have conflicted feelings about it, because every every now and then, they will not like it when you're going off and doing your own thing. Like, it will make them feel a little bit rejected. They try to keep it in perspective though, because they're like, well, we both got to do this, you know, otherwise we're going to get on each other's nerves too much and start fighting, you know, like arguing. And yeah. There is a little bit of a clinginess sometimes. They're aware. Let's see. Yeah, they are aware that they're a little bit clingy sometimes to you, and they also feel like that's probably giving mixed signals, because at other times they really just want to be alone, and then sometimes they're very needy of your time and attention. So anyway, they're aware of it, you know. They're just like, I guess it's a sort of moodiness, right? Like when someone is moody, they can feel one way in one moment and a different way in another moment. But they're aware that they have their moods. I don't think they feel bad about it. They're like, this is kind of how I am. But like they do know that both of you kind of need, in order for the relationship or the connection or whatever to operate at its best, the two of you do have to give each other space. But it's just like, it's complicated by the fact that sometimes they feel needy for you when you are taking space. And anyway, I feel like this person, again, we've kind of got this at the beginning, like where they feel like you're probably giving more to the relationship, but they also feel like almost like it's easier for you, like you just have a more natural skill set at it as well. Like they do want to be better though. They do want to be building their own relationship skill set and doing more for and being more for the relationship. They do. But anyway, so that's what I'm getting for you. Let me ask Spirit if there's anything else here. Okay, so I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. So group 2, I hope that that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 3, the goddess that you chose is Bast. So let's go ahead and get into it and see how your person feels when they're with you, how they feel about you, etc. All right, group 3, how does your person feel? Okay, sometimes they feel like, well, I think this is like right now. Right now they are in a moment of feeling like they want to kind of go off and focus on other areas of their life in order to improve their well-being. There's no lack of love here. We do have the Star card. It is in reverse, but it's almost like, yeah, they're like, I love you, group 3, but right now I'm going to have to maybe make you feel a little bit abandoned. Like they think that they have to do it for their own well-being. But they also feel like maybe, it's almost like they want to make you miss them. Yeah. That's part of it too. It's like okay. They do think it's for their well-being, you know, because they don't want to be too infatuated with you or whatever. Or too focused on you. They don't want you to be having so much of the center of their attention all the time. I think that's what it is. Like, they feel that lately they have been giving too much of their focus to you, and they're like, I need to move my focus in another direction in order to just improve my well-being. However, at the same time, I think they do feel like maybe if they do this, it will cause you to miss them and maybe even to regret some things. They feel like maybe you have taken a lot of time for yourself and it made them feel forgotten. You know, it's like, I feel like they're trying to balance this out. They're like, I've been paying a lot of attention and putting a lot of my focus on group 3, and they haven't been giving me that level of focus. And so I need to focus on myself and on other things. And maybe it will make them realize that they haven't been focusing on me, and it will also make them miss me. So this is their mindset. This is how they're experiencing things right now. It is hard for this person not to be thinking about you. I think that they do tend to think about you a lot, with the Hanged Man and the Temperance card. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. They're like thinking about you a lot. I think both of you are actually thinking about each other a lot, but like, they don't know that you're thinking about them a lot, and because they're not seeing any tangible evidence of it, they're kind of assuming a lot of times that you're not as focused on them as they are on you. But I think that you both are like kind of almost always thinking about each other. They are aware that you, I mean, I would say that this person does view this as sort of a mutual infatuation, mutual love. Like, you both are feeling the feelings. We have the 6 of Cups, the Devil card, and the 3 of Cups. Both of you are feeling the feelings for sure. They're aware of that. So yeah, what is this 3 of Cups telling us? Oh, I think that they do feel, despite the fact that sometimes they are like, you know, group 3, you're not thinking enough about me. And it makes me feel like you're forgetting me. At the same time, there's a part of them that really feels that they are probably your number 1 focus. You know, like, they do feel like you could be divided and like have feelings or interest in more than one person. Or that you're trying to respond to other people who have an interest in you. I think it's more that. Like, they feel like they are the number 1 focus for you. Some of them might think that you, like, they're the only one that you're really into. Okay, so group 3, your person does feel like they stand out to you, that they're very special to you, that they are the one that you want the most, maybe even the only one that you really want. But they do feel like there are other options that you have. There are other people who might be trying to get attention from you. And I don't know, like, maybe you're trying to respond to that in some way, or you're like, you know, you don't want to be mean to anyone who's trying to flirt with you or pursue you. They do see that way, like you, how do I put this into words? They feel like, you know, if someone is trying to get your attention, you want to be sweet to them. You want to be kind to them, even if you're not as interested. Like, you don't want to make them feel rejected or hurt. And they also feel like you want them to understand that about you. Like, this is my boundary. I'm not, just because, you know, I'm with you or just because I want you the most, doesn't mean that I'm going to be mean to other people. They feel like almost like you are more mean to them. That's okay. That's what makes them think that, okay, this is sort of ironic. That's what makes them think that you actually like them the most, is that you're willing to kind of be a little bit more mean with them in a way. They're like, okay, you're sort of revealing yourself there because you're treating me differently from the way you treat everyone else. With everyone else, you're like patient and kind, but with me, you have higher standards. Okay, so they feel like you have higher standards with them, and to them, that makes them think that they are more special to you. At the same time, they do feel rejected sometimes by the fact that they feel you're not paying as much attention to them as what they are to you. And so currently in this moment, they are trying to remove themselves from giving you so much attention and giving you so much of their time and energy. Just because I think overall it's probably better for them. Like I think they feel like they've been like investing their attention on you to a degree that is almost kind of unhealthy, to be honest. But yeah, also they do kind of hope that you'll notice that they're not giving you as much attention and energy. I think too, though, that they do feel like they need to kind of step back from this connection in order to be able to see it more clearly. They kind of feel like you already do that. They're like, okay, group 3 is already stepping back so that they can see it more clearly. You know what I mean? And they're like, maybe I need to match that energy. They do feel like the two of you love each other, but yeah, that they need to step back and understand it more fully. What are they going to understand when they step back? So I think they're going to have some self-awareness. They're going to understand that they actually don't like it when you are at peace with yourself. You know, and that's kind of a wake-up moment for them. Like, we have this guy, he always reminds me of this, well, not always, like it's started reminding me of this Drake meme where it's like, no, but like this is you being peaceful and knowing who you are and what you want out of life and having clarity. And somehow they don't like it when you're unbothered and peaceful like that. So that's one of the things they're going to understand about themselves when they take space and like try to look at this more from a distance, try to look at the connection with you more objectively. They're going to be thinking, wow, I actually don't like it when group 3 seems peaceful, because I think you will seem peaceful even when they're not giving you as much attention. And they're going to realize that they don't like that. I think it is a little bit of a wake-up call, like I said, because it makes them realize, okay, this isn't actually the best expression of love. Like, if I cared about group 3, and I do care about group 3, I would want there to be stability here. I would want there to be security and peace. So I feel like it does actually bring them more regrets in the end. They're going to take space, focus more on themselves, and it's going to help them to realize they haven't been appreciating that you need to be yourself and that it's good for you to be happy even without them, or even without all of your focus being on them. So, I mean, again, one of the strongest things that I get about this, though, is like, despite the fact that they do feel like you're more comfortable with there being space, or you're more comfortable not devoting all your time and energy to them, even though you are thinking about them like kind of all the time, they just are not aware of it, but they do feel like very strongly that this is a mutual attraction, and that both of you want this, and that both of you want each other. They also just feel like you're more like at peace, generally speaking, like you're not always constantly seeking validation. At least that's how they're going to see it. Maybe you are constantly seeking validation, but like they're going to start feeling like, oh, that's the big difference. We both have the strong magnetic chemistry, and yet it's not making group 3 a crazy person like it is me, you know? Okay. So I don't know. I mean, these are just this person's thoughts and feelings. It doesn't mean that this is the reality, right? It might be, it might not be. But I do feel like this person's feelings are going to increase. It's going to be very difficult for this person to ever get over you, but I do feel like it's almost like heartbreaking how much they of an emotional connection they have to you, because I don't know, like they keep getting hurt. It's like they rush in with their emotions and then they fall off a cliff. And then they put up their guard a little bit because, and then they start to get pulled into it again because they're like, no, it's mutual. And the fact that it's mutual with group 3 means that it's worth everything. And I adore group 3. I mean, they just are going through this cycle, you know, like, well, my emotions are so strong, like there's nobody I want more than group 3, but then I'm falling off a cliff. You know, I think that's, in some cases, sometimes that's how the falling in love experience works, is falling in love can be kind of painful, but it doesn't have to be. But this is the cycle this person is going through. They're falling off a cliff with their emotions being so strong. Then it makes them want to kind of like step back so that they're not getting hurt. And then they're reminded of like, oh my God, it's such a strong mutual. I don't know why, but the fact that it is so mutual and not one-sided to them seems to be something that they care about a lot. It's like, and I'm not sure why that matters so much, but because they know how strong their emotions are, and so for them to feel that you also are having such a strength of emotions, I guess that's what it is. Like when they get reminded of that somehow, then they just fall back into this, oh my God, I adore group 3. I adore group 3. Like, let me just rush in with all of my emotions. But I don't know, it's like they keep kind of like, it's a very extreme emotional approach that they're going through. I kind of feel like this person might be having a sort of twin flame reaction to you, like when people are convinced someone is like their twin flame, even if they don't think of it in those terms, but like when someone has that sort of fixation on someone, it does lead to healing in that person. So I feel like it probably will here. It's like a catalyst for healing in this person. You are a catalyst for healing in them just because they have this romantic fixation on you. But it's not an easy process. Like it keeps hurting them over and over and over. It's like walking across hot coals again and again. Like maybe it builds up some kind of endurance or something, but anyway, is there anything else to say about group 3? I feel like part of this person, what causes pain for them is they want to figure out how to have more of an actual commitment to you or a relationship. It doesn't feel like the two of you are in a relationship to me, and they want that. We have the Ten of Cups reversed and the Hierophant. Just like they would want to have a happy home life with you. I feel like they would want to be settled down with you, but they don't really feel like they know how to make that happen or if it's possible. I think that's where they get that Ten of Swords, like falling off a cliff thing too. It's like their bubble is burst. You know, their emotions are so strong, it gets their hopes up. And then the reality hits. Like, I don't know how Group 3 and I would ever actually have that type of life together. Like, I can't figure out, you know, how to make it happen. Yeah, so it's just sort of confusing to them because they're like, okay, you're all I ever wanted. Like, I've always wanted to be with someone who I had these all-encompassing feelings for, and yet there's no way to stabilize this and bring it down to earth. So yeah, Group 3, I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.